Daisy. Your 3 minutes starts. Friends, your next slide, please.
Start na po.
Not yet. Okay. First up, we have Daisy. We sit. Your 3 minutes starts now.
Serbisyong tapat, kay days dapat. Narinig niyo ba ang mga candidates for grade 7 batch governor? Totoo ba talaga nasasali si Days in December D visit? Ang kasagutan po dyan ay yes po. Who is she? What will she do if she wins? How will she do it? And why should we vote for her? Mabuhay Pisay! Call me Days, one of the Goldie babies, but this time running for grade 7 batch governor. Candidates are usually asked, why should we vote for you? Well, it's a common question to be asked, of course, but even if they give us a good answer, we never really know if they'll stand by it, if they really do win. However, have you ever asked yourself this? Why are you voting for them? Listen closely to my speech. Allow me to give you plenty of reasons why. Satakusai is more than just my main platform. It's a promise to lead with excellence, integrity, and a commitment to serving our batch and community, highlighting the three core values of PSHS-SMC. As your batch governor, I aim to uphold the values of society, excellence in all aspects for my QC batch. I plan to implement initiatives that foster camaraderie, provide environmental awareness, and encourage my batchmates to reach their full potential. That's Tatakusai. Now, let's proceed to the plans within Tatakusai. First up, Friday Fun Day, a weekly activity to unwind and have fun with batchmates, promoting camaraderie and stress relief. Next one, Batch 31 Feedback Forms, a platform for batchmates to share their thoughts, concerns, and suggestions, ensuring their voices are heard and valued. Now, Batch 31 Annual Game Day, a fun event where batchmates can bond and compete through games, fostering teamwork and friendly competition. Last one, Green R is a monthly environmental initiative where batchmates come together to clean up, plant trees, and promote eco-friendly practices, contributing to a cleaner community. That's all. By the way, I'll be sharing a G-form to the fellow class mayors of Batch 31 to share it to their respective classes. You can tell me anything through it. Once again, sa serbisyong tapat, kay taste dapat. Reminder to choose wisely and vote wisely. Thank you mga isko at iska. Kita-kits!
Thank you, Days. Next up, let's hear from candidate 3, Adeo Vincent D. Lupas. Your 3 minutes starts now.
Okay, does everyone hear me? Hello, I am Adeo Vincent D. Lupas, and I am running for the position of batch governor. Now, why am I running for batch governor? It is it's because that I'm running for batch governor because I've been seeing the issues in the batch lately. Like, the first thing that I wanna address is rage baiting. Has anyone heard of rage baiting before? Now, rage baiting is the act of um baiting someone so that they will be angry. And well, I found an issue where the batch 2031 of PSI-SMC has been rage baiting the seniors, aka disrespecting the leaders, the elders, and everything. So, and other than that, I will not cite any more issues as I might run out of time. Now, here are my political platforms, or as I like to call it, the goals for this batch. Now, one of my goals or platforms is that I will be this might repeat one of the other platforms, but I will be implementing the eco-friendly goal, and that eco-friendly goal is gonna aim to uh, remove the I mean reduce the littering of trash everywhere, and the and encourage everyone to throw their trash in the trash bins. And one of my other goals are um, the the implementing of more, let's say, wellness time. Now we already have a wellness time, we know, but we sometimes feel like it's so short. So if I get voted for batch governor, I'll try to make sure, and I'll just try to what was it again? Extend the wellness time for for a bit of 10 minutes, and that is all that I have to say for my opening speech today. Thank you. Oh my God.
All right, thank you for that, candidate 3, Adea. Next up, let's hear from candidate 2, Nakia Jacob Zivas. Your 3 minutes starts now.
Oh wait, sorry for everybody. I left the meeting and didn't hear. Okay. So good evening.
Okay, wait,
I am
sorry.
Nakil
Your
Jacob
3 minutes
Zigoles.
starts now.
Okay. Good evening. I am Nakil Jacob Zigoles from Seventh Pearl, and I am a candidate for BatchGov. So let me explain my platforms. Number one, to help with problems that include mental health, well-being, and academic pressure. To be able to achieve this goal, I'll be assigning some people to be advocates to be able to help the other batchmates. Because if you remember, mental health is actually one of the problems and that also cause for grades to fall. So if I am allowed to establish a support system, I will make sure that every student will be able wi- to be able to have good mental health, lively well-being, and be able to be free from pressure. Number two,
All right, it seems we're having some technical difficulties. For now, let's proceed with candidate number 1, Kim Cedric Arbacalco. Kim?
Hello, can I be heard?
Yes, you can be heard. Is your connection?
I'm Cedric Arbacaso from Grade 7 Emerald. I am
Your three
currently
minutes
running
start.
for batch governor. If you vote me, I will do my best in order to make our batchmates responsible for their environment. Climate change is really taking a toll on us, and I don't want us, besides scholars, to be helping with it. So I want us to take care of our trash. I regularly see trash around our classroom and campus, and so I want to avoid that. Yeah, that's all. Thank you. Lagi.
All right, thank you for that, Kim. Um, Nakia, is your connection okay? Nakia, is your connection okay na ba?
Yes po.
Did you manage to complete your speech back? Kasi you still have 1 minute. Your audio cut off.
Oh, it cut off. I have to restate everything again, sir.
Hmm?
I finished already, kuya.
Ah, okay. So with that, thank you to the grade 7 Master Governance candidates for their speeches. Now let's proceed to the Q&A segment. Each candidate will answer one randomly selected question. They will be given 1 minute to think about their answer and 2 minutes to answer. We have a total of 5 topics to be discussed, namely student leadership and representation, responsibility and accountability, academics and student life, social issues and inclusivity, and lastly, their vision and their legacy. So let us now start. Let's first start with the topic of student leadership and representation. Next slide. Brando. So for candidate one, here is your question. What is your plan to encourage participation from students who often don't join activities but prefer to stay in the background? Your 1 minute to think starts now.
Um, I want to encourage everyone to be participative because we all need to to commit ourselves to extracurricular and curricular activities for our physical well-being. So I would like to encourage them and drive awareness about such stuff.
Is that all of your answer? Let's proceed to candidate number two. For Nakia Jacob Lubal. Due to some technical difficulties, the wheel for the last question was shown, so we'll go random selection for our next candidate. Um, all right, for the next candidate, Nakia, you have question number 4. What is question number is, what is one project you want to accomplish this year with a lasting impact on your batch if you become batch governor? Your 1 minute to think starts now. After that will be your 2 minute period.
So one project I want to accomplish this year is something food related. Since I don't have the name for this yet, I won't be able to give certain details. But in short, I want something that will be food related that will keep the pressure off the other the other students.
Okay, thank you for that, Nakia. Next, let's proceed to candidate number three, Adea Vincent Lucas. For that, you have question number one. Many grade 7 students struggle to adjust to high school life. How will you help your batchmates transition smoothly and feel at home in the school? Again, reminder, you still have 1 minute to think, and if you're ready, then you can proceed. Or, yes, you have 2 minutes to state your answer, but when you start, your 2 minutes starts. Your 1 minute time to think starts now.
Okay, so I'm gonna answer the question. Um,
Okay, your 2 minutes starts now.
so let's imagine a scenario where a grade 7 student, a new one, just you know, passed Pisay, right? And when he passed, he has like new classmates all around him, in which he doesn't recognize. One thing that I would like to implement, or maybe mm, do, is like um you know how like there are already eighth graders who are cheating for the freshies, so that the freshies have more what was that, motivation. Well, maybe let's apply that to the freshies too. Like, you know, maybe one freshie, another classmate, will comfort the person who and make him like feel at home, and like bonding and comforting them, and then like saying things like um yeah, you're gonna be all right, and that's my answer. I'll be turning off my microphone, and
All right, thank you for your answer, Theo. Last up, we have Dave Visit, and your number is question number three. Proceed to the slide, please. Question number three is, if disagreements break out among classmates during group work or batch activities, how would you mediate and ensure fairness? Again, if disagreements break out among classmates during group work or batch activities, how would you mediate and ensure fairness? Your 1 minute to think starts now.
So, alright, as the batch governor, if ever disagreements will break out among classmates, I would address by firstly actively listening to all sides to understand the core issues. Then, I would facilitate a calm and respectful discussion, encouraging classmates to find common ground and propose solutions together. If needed, I'd mediate to help reach a fair compromise, ensuring everyone feels heard and valued, and emphasizing the importance of maintaining a positive and unified path environment.
All right, thank you for your answer. Let us now proceed with our second topic, responsibility and accountability. Candidate number one, Kim Bacaso, here is your question.
What is the question for?
Wait lang. Some difficulties right now. Okay, your question is question number four. What is one project that you want with a heavy Policies. Here's question number 4. How do you personally handle mistakes or shortcomings in your leadership so your batchmates continue to trust you?
Um, if if I ever do a mistake or shortcoming, I would of course accept that I made a mistake. I cannot lie and say that I did not do this. I did not make a mistake because we all are humans. It is our human nature in order to make mistakes. So I would accept it. I would like to further my growth and know what I did wrong and improve it so that my batchmates can have a better experience.
Thank you for your answer. Let's now proceed to our next candidate, Nakia Jacob V. Gales. Your question is question number 3. So for your question, grade 7 often faces difficulty in managing time. What concrete measures will you propose to help the batch improve time management? Again, grade 7 often faces difficulty in managing time. What concrete measures will you propose to help the batch improve time management? Your 1 minute to think starts now.
Since procrastination and cramming is one of the key problems in this, es- especially wasting time. I would try to make schedules and help the others, since sometimes them being late at answering is mostly just because they're confused.
All right, thank you for that, Tia. Next candidate, Adeo Vincent Libu.
Excuse me, is this slide the question po?
Not yet. The question is still being chosen randomly. Your question is question number 2. How will you make sure your projects and events are inclusive for both academically strong and struggling students? Again, how will you make sure your projects and events are inclusive for both academically strong and struggling students? Your 1 minute to think starts now.
Okay, so I would like to answer the question.
Okay, your 2 minutes to answer starts now.
Well, if I will make my projects and events inclusive for both academically strong and struggling students by making it on the level of academically strong, as in like a bit smart, but when academically struggling, it's a bit no, not it's not to say that not it's unfair, like it's unequal, but obviously there's equal questions or equal events, but we do have to make them a bit more toned down so that the academically strong students can keep up. also with the struggling students. And that is my answer. And I will turn off my microphone. So thank you for the question.
All right, thank you for that. Lastly, we have Dave Weavitt. Your last question is question number one. Francis, slide, please. With a heavy workload in PSI, what steps would you take to help promote a healthy balance between academics and extracurricular activities? Again, with a heavy workload in PSI, what steps would you take to help promote a healthy balance between academics and extracurricular activities? Your 1 minute to think starts now.
Okay, so to promote a healthy balance, I would advocate for better time management workshops, encourage collaborative study groups to ease academic pressure, and work with teachers to ensure assignments are reasonably placed. Additionally, I'd organize stress relief activities and promote extracurriculars as valuable outlets, emphasizing their role in overall well-being, while also ensuring academic support is readily available for those who need it.
All right, thank you for your answer. With the second topic done, let's now proceed to our third topic, academics and student life. So, candidate one, Kim Bacasa, here is your question. You have question number three. How would you promote teamwork between academically strong and weak students during activities?
May you repeat that po? I did not get the question po.
Franzo, this right thing. How would you promote teamwork between academically strong and weak students during activities? Your 1 minute to think starts now.
I would advise them to work together. We need communication, collaboration, and the community in order to survive PSI life. Because PSI can be very stressful. And I aim for people to be comfortable with PSI by working together. Yeah.
All right. Thank you for that answer. Let's now proceed to candidate number two, Nakio Gales. Your question is question number one. Here is your question. Some students feel pressure to always perform well academically. How will you create a culture that values effort and learning over just grades? Again, some students feel pressure to always perform well academically. How will you create a culture that values effort and learning over just grades? Your 1 minute think starts now.
So, well, I would promote that that not every task has to be perfect, not every grade has to be high, since we don't need that high of a grade because sometimes our well-being matters more. So I would promote that to prioritize yourself over grades sometimes.
All right, thank you for that answer. Let's now proceed to candidate number three, Adeo Luis. Your question is question number two. What is your plan to help batchmates who are struggling academically without embarrassing or singling them out? Again, what is your plan to help batchmates who are struggling academically without embarrassing or singling them out? Your time starts now.
Okay, so I would like to answer the question.
All right, your 2 minute time to answer starts now.
Okay, so if my plan to help batchmates who are struggling at academically is to just teach them. It's very simple and a very simple answer in fact, but it already is impactful in a way because it actually includes them. It's inclusive of them. We're aware of their existence by teaching them and helping them learn. Their struggling academically will eventually turn into not struggling academically by just gradual teaching. Now let me quote someone named Andres Tapia. Diversity is the mix. Inclusion is making the mix work. Now, thank you for the question, and I will be turning off my microphone.
Oh, excuse me. All right, thank you for that answer. Now let's move on to our final candidate, Dave Yusuf. Your question is question number 4. How will you encourage students to join both academic and non-academic competitions that represent your batch? Again, how will you encourage students to join both academic and non-academic competitions that represent your batch? You want to time to think starts now.
Okay, I'll answer. So,
Okay, your 2 minutes to answer starts now.
boost participation, or in other words, encourage students to join both academic and non-academic competitions, I'll highlight the benefits of joining competitions such as skill development and resume building. I'll also create a supportive environment by organizing training sessions and pairing experienced students with newcomers. Lastly, I'll ensure recognition and reward for participants to celebrate their efforts and achievements. That's all. Thank you.
Thank you for your answer. Let's now proceed to our next topic, social issues and inclusivity. So for candidate 1, Kim Bakaso, here's your question. You have question number 3. If students feel excluded from batch projects, what would you do to address it? Again, if students feel excluded from batch projects, what would you do to address it? Your 1 minute time to think starts now.
Well, I of course would allow them to be included in such batch projects because we all need to be in a proper community shaped by communication and friendship. We should not exclude others for being different. We all should be treated equally and of course work equally. We will share the workload and we will do it um in a community. So we will not tolerate loneliness and such.
All right, thank you for your answer. Let's now proceed to our next candidate, Nakio Gales. Your question is question number 1. Social media can cause misunderstandings and miscommunication among students. As a leader, how would you use it positively to unite your batch? Again, social media can cause misunderstandings and miscommunication among students. As a leader, how would you use it positively to unite your batch? Your time to think starts now.
May I start now?
Your 2 minutes starts now.
since social media can cause misunderstandings and miscommunication among students, especially online, especially when you're talking very fast. As a leader, I would try to verify information, prom- promote not spreading misinformation, to use verified sources, to use good sites, and to try not to make others be angry, like rage beating. I'd use it to positively unite my batch to be able to host certain events and other instances.
All right, thank you for your answer. Let's now proceed to our next candidate, Adea Lucas. Your question is question number 2. How will you ensure all batch activities include everyone regardless of background or friend group? Again, how will you ensure all batch activities include everyone regardless of background or friend group? Your 1 minute to think starts now.
Okay, I would like to answer the question.
All right, your 2 minutes to answer the question starts now.
Here, a way to ensure that all activities are include everyone, regardless of what their race is, what their background is, what their friend group is to just encourage them to, be part of that activity. No, not forcing them, but actually including them and just, what was that? Including them, encouraging them to go and saying that they're not gonna, if they're afraid, we can also say that it's all right because it's normal to be afraid. We can be we're humans and not robots after all, and because of that they can be a bit more, they can be a bit more uh what was that persuaded to join whatever activities are being administered. I'm done answering the question. Thank you for the question, by the way.
All right, thank you for your answer. Let's now proceed to our final candidate, Dave Weezer. Your question is question number 4. How will you promote kindness and respect inside the batch? Again, how will you promote kindness and respect inside the batch? Your 1 minute to answer, to think starts now.
As a batch governor, I promote kindness and respect by launching like a no judgment zone campaign. Think less Karen vibes, more chill. With host empathy workshops, yeah, and create a shout out system for recognizing good deeds because cloud should be for being nice, not just for flexing. Plus, zero tolerance for drama. Let's keep it PG, folks. And if ever there was someone disrespecting someone else, I would also address it nicely. That's all. Thank you.
All right, thank you for that answer. With that topic done, let's now proceed to our final topic, their visions for the batch. Candidate number 1, your question is question number 4. Kim Bakasser, your question is What does success as a batch governor mean to you by the end of the year? Again, what does success as a batch governor mean to you by the end of the year? Your 1 minute time to think starts now.
Um, Success as a batch governor for me would mean that I had improved myself and everyone else in a manner which allows us to succeed. We all are successful if I am successful, because I believe that we should be a community that survives off of each other.
All right, thank you for that answer. Let's now proceed to our next candidate, Nakia Gals. Your question is question number one. Looking beyond this school year, what kind of batch identity do you want grade 7 to be remembered for? Again, looking beyond this school year, what kind of batch identity do you want grade 7 to be remembered for? Your 1 minute to think starts now.
So, looking beyond the school year, the kind of batch identity I want grade 7 to be remembered for is being academically responsible, being kind and courteous to all the other seniors, and a batch and a grade that performs well under pressure and is also respectful. Thank you.
All right, thank you for that answer. Let's now proceed to candidate number three, Adaya Lucas. Your question is question number two. How will you make sure the projects you start are sustainable even after your term as batch governor ends? Again, how will you make sure the projects that you start are sustainable even after your term of batch governor ends? Your time to think starts now.
Okay, so I would like to answer the question.
All right, your 2 minutes to answer starts now.
So how I will make sure how the projects I start will be sustainable is if that project leaves a mark. No, not a physical mark, a mark that can stick around for a long time. And if I want to make sure that mark is is gonna stick around, I want to make sure that the project I started is still, relatable, likable, and will still be good in the future batches and the future of the school and in the future years. So yeah, that will be all. Thank you.
All right, thank you for your answer. Let's now proceed to our final candidate, Dave Lee. Your question is question number three. What is one tradition you'd like to start in your batch? Again, what is one tradition you'd like to start in your batch? Your 1 minute to think starts.
So I'll start. One tradition that I'd like to start in my batch is the batch annual game day, which will happen, of course, every year, which is part of its name. We'll be having games, and I will be assigning schedule for it. But another tradition is that I would want to create a time capsule filled with our batch's memories, dreams, and inside jokes to be opened at the day of our graduation. It's a reminder that while our paths may diverge, the bonds we forge here will always connect us, echoing the shared journey that shaped who we become. That's all. Thank you.
Thank you for that answer. At this point, we will now open the floor for questions from the audience. If you would like to ask something to our Batch Governor candidates, please leave a comment on the Facebook or YouTube Live or send us a message on our Facebook page. A reminder, please keep your questions respectful, concise, and directed to all candidates, unless your question is specifically for one person. Each candidate will be given time to respond. You will be given 5 minutes for the open forum. After that, we'll proceed with the batch business manager. There are 3 minutes left for the open forum. After that, we'll proceed with the batch business manager. All
Could
right,
we
since there is oh, yes.
I'd like to answer a question from one of my batchmates. They asked in the FB Live.
Okay, could you please state the question?
The question is, Games visit. For the batch playing with each other platform, how will you ensure camaraderie between batchmates and ensure that no one gets hurt physically or emotionally?
Thank you for that. Since that question is directed to you, you are now given ample time to answer the question.
Okay, thank you. Now, my platform, specifically the Batch Friday Fun Day and the Batch 31 Annual Game Day that includes playing with the batch, I'd organize team-based activities that require collaboration and communication, fostering a sense of shared accomplishment. I'd also set clear ground rules emphasizing respect and inclusivity, with designated safe zones and peer support systems to address any emotional distress. The goal here is to create an environment where everyone feels valued and protected, ensuring we lift each other up, not tear each other down, because what we build together lasts longer than any fleeting moment of fun. That's all. Thank you for the question.
Thank you for that, Ace. Since there doesn't seem to be any additional questions, that concludes the meeting the Avance for the candidates running for grade 7 batch governance. Thank you, candidates, for sharing your vision and plans for your batch. We now move forward to the next set of candidates, those running for the batch business managers. While the batch governor leads the batch in spirit and unity, the business manager supports by handling logistics and ensuring events and needs are supplied. Let's now hear from our batch business manager candidates. Each candidate will have 3 minutes to share their platforms. So first up is the grade 7 batch business manager candidate, Nel Reliance. You are now given 3 minutes to share your platforms. Your 3 minutes starts now.
Maayong adlaw at mabuhay sa lahat. I'm Nel Joseph Pirilianos running for the position of Batch Business Manager. Here to introduce to you my qualifications, platform, and why I'm running for this position in the first place. Just for a little quick introduction, I am the current president of 7 Emerald and I have a knack for leadership positions, as I've been student body treasurer during my last year of elementary and have been elected president multiple times during my years in grade school. I chose to run for this position because I want to inspire, become a visionary for the unsighted, and push for a better lifestyle and financial choices as a candidate for this position. Now, some of you may be asking, what is my overall goal for this school year? Simple. My platform is called Vision for the Mission, in which it includes multiple policies I plan to implement if I'm elected. The first one is Batch 2031 feedback posts, in which like minded students can share their ideas on our Facebook page for our batch. Whether it may be suggestions, ideas, and critiques, I'll always be willing to accept. My next plan is Para sa Kabataan, which promotes group studies and a buddy system to help one another during what some consider may be the busiest time of our lives, Hell Week. These partnership programs aim to make sure no one gets left behind as a batch and to achieve the over goal for all of us, striving for the best. My last platform is Specialization Priority, in which I will inform my batchmates on specific competitions fit for them. For example, if they're good in karate or judo, I could recommend upcoming competitions for them to join, if they want to, of course. Now, I thank you all once again, and here's my motto: fighting for a vision, striving for excellence. Thank you.
Thank you for that, Nell. There seem to be some technical difficulties for our Facebook Live, so in case you missed that, you can proceed to our YouTube later in order to see what you missed. Next up, let's proceed to the grade 8 batch business manager candidate, Mary Alexi Alcabigas. Your 3 minutes speak starts now.
Am I audible po?
Yes, you're on.
Okay. Good evening, everyone, and thank you for being here tonight. Hello, my name is Mary Alexi Alcabigas, and I'm running for Batch Business Manager. I'm running for Batch Business Manager because I believe this position is more than just about handling money. It's about ensuring that our batch operates smoothly, trans- transparently, and efficiently so that every one of us can focus on enjoying our high school journey together. As business manager, my role will be to make sure our resources are safe, our events are well prepared, and our funds are always accounted for. To do this, I've created a platform called Project Flow, which stands for Funds, Logistics, Organization, and Win. First, funds. I will keep our batch finances transparent and easy to understand. That means every collection, every payment, and every expense will be recorded properly. And I will share regular updates so you'll always know where your contributions are going. Second, logistics. A lot of stress during events comes from last minute problems or disorganized materials. I want to make sure that doesn't happen. By preparing checklists, canvassing early, and coordinating with people, I'll help our activities run smoothly from start to finish. Third, organization. With organized records and systems, nothing gets lost, whether it's receipts, materials, or even items that are lost and found. My goal is to create a simple but effective system so everything is easier for all of us. And finally, win. When our funds are secure, our logistics are efficient, and our organization is clear, we win together as a batch. We'll have more successful events, stronger unity, and the peace of mind that everything is managed well. I want you to know that if you choose me as your business manager, I will do my job with honesty, accountability, and dedication. You can trust me to handle our batch's funds, resources carefully and fairly. Together, let's keep the flow moving forward. Thank you, and I hope I can earn your support.
All right, thank you for that, Mary. Next up, let's hear for the candidate of grade 9 batch business manager, Justin Francis M. Lagoon. Your 3 minutes to speak starts now.
Good day, everyone. I am Justin Francis M. Laguna. I stand as the participant and candidate for Batch Business Manager for Batch 29. Now, who am I and why should you vote me? First, I believe that our batch really needs more quality materials. So, for my first platform, it would be low price and high quality. For this message, I just want everyone to spend their money wisely. I don't want to waste the money that was given to us by the batch itself and just waste it on useless things. I want them to have the quality that they deserve. Second, I've noticed that no one really cares about each one's birthdays. So I want to give more emphasis on the birthdays and I just want people to have more fun and I want them to receive a small gift of gratitude to boost their morale and overall make them feel better about themselves. I don't just want to make the batch united, I want to make the batch feel safe and overall have a happy vibe. So that's it and goodbye.
All right, thank you for that, Justin. Let's now proceed to our candidate for the grade 10 batch business manager, Gianbriel Ocolina. Your 3 minutes to speak starts now.
Good evening po. Am I audible po?
Yes, you can be heard.
Okay, so good evening everyone. My name is Gianbriel Ocolina and I am running for Batch 2028's Business Manager. So, first of all, I chose to run because I want to serve my batch with transparency, responsibility, and passion. I believe that every event, big or small, should be well prepared, memorable, truly meaningful, and especially because this is our last year as juniors. And as business manager, I will make sure that our resources are utilized properly to make that happen. I want to ensure that every peso is spent on materials and resources that have good quality without compromising the price. And of course, I also want to make sure that everything we buy is accounted for and stored properly. So, if I were to be elected, I will implement three main platforms. Firstly, a batch financial repository that contains organized templates and documents to make financial work easier for both current and future officers to utilize. Secondly, a batch resource log system to track and manage our materials to help us save money, reuse what we have, and promote sustainability within the batch to reduce waste as well. And third, I will ensure clear and timely communication and coordination with my fellow officers, especially with our batch treasurer, as well as the PTA, so that every financial matter is handled smoothly, accurately, and on time. So, with preparation, consistency, and dedication, I am highly confident that I can serve our batch with integrity and purpose. So, once again, I am Gian Brielle Ocolina, running for business manager, and I humbly ask my batch for their trust and support. So, together, let's make this year count. Thank you.
Thank you for that, Gian. Next up, let's hear from our candidate for the grade 11 batch business manager, Christian Paul Alvarez. Your 3 minutes to speak starts now.
Okay, hello. Okay. Maayong gabi. Kumusta mo? I hope you're all having a great day. This is Christian Villassino running to be Batch 27's Business Manager. Whenever there are batch events or activities, pera ang unang usapan. Saan ba makabibili ng ganto, ganyan? Paano ba? Sino ba bibili? Dala mo sulod akong pulos. That's where I want to serve the batch. Unang-una sa logistics, I want to make our processes faster and smoother. Magtinabangay mi sa mga class business manager sa pagpalit og mga butang nga kinahanglan ug sa pag-record sa mga gastos. Mupaspas yung makahatag og presyo and if available ba siya. Second, finance. I believe in transparency and accountability. Bilang batch treasurer, I will work closely with other batch finance committee member, such as the batch treasurer, to ensure na accurate ang aming financial record, realistic ang aming budget, at malalaman ng aming batch kung paano lumalabas-pasok ng pera in a way that they can understand. Lastly, sa pag-procure ng mga gamit, we'll compare prices, scout for affordable but quality materials, and i-handle ang money in ways that give our batch the most benefit. That's all for my platforms. Sa muli, ako nga pala si Christian Villasino, your candidate for Business Batch Manager. Daghang salamat.
All right, thank you for that, Christian. Next up, let's hear for our final candidate for the grade 12 batch business manager. We have Diane Rose and Muscle. Your 3 minutes to speak starts now.
Good evening, everyone. I am Diane Rosalejos from Grade 12 Rigel, and I'm running for the position of Grade 12 Batch Business Manager. But before I get into my business, let me share first something personal. For my last year in Pasay, I promised myself that I would step out of my comfort zone, like try new things, make more memories, make new friends, be more goal-oriented, and most importantly, give back to the batch that has been with me through it all, from online classes to shifting to face, and finally in our last year. And that is why I am here in front of you today. So again, I am Dayan. I am the current Vice President of Grade 12 Rigel with leadership experience in many organizations. If I become your business manager, my focus is relatively simple. It's to make sure that our batch funds are handled responsibly, wisely, and always in service of us, our batch. I will work closely supporting our SU treasurer and auditor, our grade 12 governor and mayors, and even other batches to make sure that all events run smoothly, especially as our batch prepares for one of the biggest milestones, graduation. And so, one of my favorite teachers once said that if it wasn't documented, it never happened. So, with this, with every transaction that I handle, I will promptly document everything because you deserve transparency. And beyond that, I will use my network and connections to help bring people together so that communication and planning for events become much easier and less stressful for everyone involved. At the end of the day, I would really like to just give back and to make our last year not just successful, but memorable and meaningful. Very meaningful for each and every one of us. Once again, I am Dayan Rosalejos, running for Grade 12 Batch Business Manager. I hope I can earn your trust, your support, maybe even your friendship along the way. And I will make sure to support you right back. Thank you and good evening.
All right, thank you for that, Diane, and thank you to all the batch business manager candidates for their speeches. Now let's proceed to the Q&A segment. Each candidate will answer one randomly selected question. They will be given 1 minute to think about their answer and 2 minutes to answer. We have a total of 5 topics to be discussed, namely dependability and trust, responsibility and accuracy, teamwork and coordination, problem solving and purchases, and transparency and legacy. Let's start with the topic of dependability and trust. So for candidate number 1, grade 7 batch business manager, now here is your question. In what ways will you prove to your batchmates that you are reliable, even when tasks pile up? Again, in what ways will you prove to your batchmates that you are reliable, even when tasks pile up? Your 1 minute to think starts now.
May I answer now po?
Alright, your 2 minutes to answer starts now.
First and foremost, I would create a study schedule or a manageable schedule that currently matches with mine, where I blend in the tasks of being a candidate of business manager while also handling my PSI tasks as a freshie. Next, I could also make I could also pass the hardest tasks first instead of the easiest ones. As when we do the hardest ones first, we may also encounter some sort of serendipity when we finish everything else. Once I would also like to say that every time that I could also submit deadlines before I actually be reminded of them po. Thank you.
Alright, thank you for your answer. Let's now proceed running for grade 8 batch business manager, Mary Cabicos. Your question is question number 3. If asked to purchase an item but the quality is poor or overpriced, how would you handle the situation? Again, if asked to purchase an item but the quality is poor or overpriced, how would you handle the situation? Your 1 minute to think starts now.
May I answer na po?
Alright, your 2 minutes to answer starts now.
If I'm asked to purchase an item, but I see that the quality is poor or the price is not reasonable, I would first prioritize being practical and responsible with our resources. I will look for alternatives that are of better quality and more affordable while still serving the purpose we need. If no alternative is available, I will consult with my team or batchmates to decide whether the item is truly necessary. For me, it's important to ensure that every purchase is worth the value so that the money we use brings the best possible benefit to our batch. That's all lang po.
Alright, thank you for that answer. Now running for grade 9 batch business manager, we have Justin Lagun. For that, you have question number 4. Given our hectic schedules, how will you make sure you're available and approachable during your assigned SG room shifts? Again, given our hectic schedules, how will you make sure you're available and approachable during your assigned SG room shifts? Your 1 minute to think starts now.
Given our hectic schedules, I can make sure that I'm available and approachable during my assigned SG room shifts by simply doing the task either before or after, prioritizing my SG room first. Because one, SG room is more important, and two, if I needed something done, I would have done it beforehand already. Thank you. That's all.
Right, thank you for that answer. Next up, running for grade 10 business manager, we have Gian Brielle Oakley. So for you, your question is number two. If someone accuses you of mishandling a student's request, such as a lost and found claiming, how would you clear it up? Again, if someone accuses you of mishandling a student's request, such as lost and found claiming, how would you clear it up? Your 1 minute to think starts now.
May I answer the question na po?
Yep, your 2 minutes starts now.
So if someone were to accuse me of mishandling a student's request, such as a lost and found claiming situation, I would first, of course, remain calm and professional, and I will do my best with utmost patience to reason with the student. With I would clarify as well the situation by reviewing the events of what actually happened step by step. I would explain the process I followed because I would always follow it methodologically, and I would present any records or documentation if available, and make sure to communicate that my actions were, of course, guided by transparency and fairness as stated in my platforms. And if there was any misunderstanding, I would respectfully clear it up and apologize for the confusion, and reassure the people that the proper steps were taken and will be taken to prevent it from happening once more. So this way, I can show that I am accountable, responsible, and committed to handling matters with integrity. Thank you.
All right, thank you for that answer. Now for grade 11, business manager, we have Christian Paul LBSC. Your question is question number five. How will you handle situations where officers doubt or question whether you really bought something at the best value? Again, how will you handle situations where officers doubt or question whether you really bought something at the best value? Your 1 minute to think starts now.
Okay, I will answer na po.
All right, your 2 minutes to answer the question starts now.
Okay, so if I'm asked if I bought the item something at the best value, I'll show not just the receipt but also the comparison I made with other sources. That way, they can see that I chose the option with the best balance between price and quality for the batch. That's all. Thank you.
All right, thank you for that answer. Now for grade 12 business manager, we have Diane Rose Rosalez. Your question is question number one. Sometimes you'll be asked to buy items on short notice. How will you make sure you can handle urgent requests without compromising your studies? Again, sometimes you'll be asked to buy items on short notice. How would you make sure you can handle urgent requests without compromising your service? Your 1 minute to think starts now.
I will now answer na po.
All right, your 2 minutes starts now.
So, how will I make sure that I can handle urgent requests without compromising my schedule? First of all, that is impossible. It's hard to, you can't not compromise your schedule during in urgent tasks. It will be compromised. And that is when you come in with your flexibility as a person. You will have to adjust that accordingly. So, depending on urgency, I will adjust my schedule and to make sure that there isn't any big grave damages to my schedule. And so, yes, I will prioritize the handling of the urgent requests. Thank you.
All right, thank you for your answer, Diane. The first topic is now done. Let us proceed to our second topic, responsibility and accuracy. So for candidate one, your question is question number 4. Then for grade 7 business manager, now Lanas, your question is question number 4. How did how will you ensure no unnecessary spending is made during returns? Again, how will you ensure no unnecessary spending is made during return? Your 1 minute to think starts now.
May I answer now po?
All right, your 2 minutes to answer starts now.
To avoid unnecessary spending during major activities or major batch activities, I would be strict with funding and would always ask the requestee if it's really necessary for the batch to succeed or to have fun. Especially considering the prices of items right now due to inflation, it's best for me to be cautious about spending money in terms of costs and giving giving way to things that are very unnecessary when it comes to spending. Thank you.
All right, thank you for your answer. Now for our grade 8 business manager candidate, Mary Cabigas, your question is question number 5. What system or method would you use to double check that you're not missing receipts or proof of purchase? Again, what system or method would you use to double check that you're not missing receipts or proof of purchase? Your 1 minute to think starts now.
May I answer now po?
All right, your 2 minutes to answer starts now.
So, the method I'll use to always keep a record right after every purchase, I'll organize all receipts in a folder. both physical and digital if possible, so it's easier to track. I'll also make a simple logbook or spreadsheet where every transaction is listed, and then I can compare it with the receipts to double check that nothing is missing. By having both the receipts and a recorded list, it's easier. Um, it's easier to make sure everything is complete and transparent. That's all. Thank you.
All right, thank you for your answer. Now for grade 9 business manager, Justin Laguna. Your question is question number 2. How will you balance affordability and quality when choosing what to buy for your batch? Again, how will you balance affordability and quality when choosing what to buy for your batch? Your 1 minute to think starts now.
Pwede na po, kuya.
Your 2 minutes to answer will start now.
For me, to balance affordability and quality, we must first use a budget. Budget always comes first. We need a budget to know how much we spend. And using that budget, we can use that as a cap to pick out the best quality in that specific price range. That is all. I'll keep it simple. Thank you, pa.
All right, thank you for that answer. Now for grade 10 business manager, we have Gian Colina. Your question is question number 3. If a purchase request from your officers is unclear, how would you clarify it before spending? Again, if a purchase request from your officers is unclear, how would you clarify it before spending? Your 1 minute to think starts now.
I would like to answer the question na po.
All right, your 2 minutes starts now.
So, if a purchase request from my fellow officers seems unclear, so I would first reach out to them to communicate and to coordinate with them properly. So, I will reach out to them directly to ask for specific details such as the exact item, purpose, quantity, and the event or activity it will be used for. Um, Also, the budget and other necessary details. So I believe that it's better to clarify everything beforehand rather than just risk misusing funds that are integral to the batch. So I would ask follow up questions until the request is fully transparent and justified. And of course, there is a consensus reached among us officers. If needed, I'll also request written confirmation or documentation so that there's a clear record of the decision. This way, I can make sure that every peso spent is accounted for and aligns with the batch's needs, and avoids any misunderstandings later on. Thank you.
All right, thank you for your answer. Now for grade 11 business manager, we have Christian Villasino. The question is question number 6. If you accidentally make an error in buying the wrong item, how would you take responsibility and fix it? Again, if you accidentally make an error in buying the wrong item, how would you take responsibility and fix it? Your 1 minute to think starts now.
Okay, so I will answer na po.
Alright, your 2 minutes starts now.
If I accidentally make an error in buying the wrong item, I will immediately acknowledge it and inform the officers. And I will look for the fastest way to correct it, either by returning, exchanging, or finding a better option. And I will also record the mistake so that it won't happen again. That's all. Thank you.
Alright, thank you for answering. Lastly, we have for grade 12 business manager, Diana Salajos. Your question is question number 1. What steps would you take to make sure all purchased items are properly checked and delivered on time? Again, what steps would you take to make sure all purchased items are properly checked and delivered on time? Your 1 minute to think starts now.
I will now answer po.
Alright, your 2 minutes to answer starts now.
So, how do I make sure na our things are checked and delivered on time? So, first of all, the most important is to plan way ahead. And with this, you can ensure that you have a lot of free time to spend so that in case of any delays, you aren't like hindi tayo affected. And next is I will collaborate with my fellow officers as I admit that these things can slip through me, especially with our busy workload. And so I will rely on my fellow officers to keep me in check to make sure na I am doing my job and um, that these will arrive in time. And then finally, I will make sure to regularly communicate with the supplier to make sure na we are on the same page in terms of delivery and the supply. And of course, with the PTA to make sure na our funds are sufficient. Thank you.
Alright, thank you for your answer, Diane. Let's now proceed to our third topic, teamwork and coordination. So for grade 7 business manager, Nelly Llanos, your question is question number 5. How will you make sure you're always aligned with the batch governor's vision when making purchases? Again, how will you make sure you're always aligned with the batch governor's vision when making purchases? Your 1 minute to think starts now.
May I answer na po?
Alright, your 2 minutes to answer starts now.
Personally, when we're talking about vision, I could directly communicate with her
Apologies.
a way how to save money.
You're cutting off now. Could you repeat your answer now? Your audio can't be heard. Now. You can be heard now.
Hello, hello, hello.
Oh, you can be heard now.
Can you hear me now po?
Ah,
When talking about the batch have, or when we talk about making purchases that is best for, oh my goodness, what that mean? Wait, hello? Can you hear me po? I have internet po.
yep, we can hear you.
When to, communication here is key po because communication here is key because when trying to manage purchases and trying to help make minimum spending, communication here is key to find the best items that are good and have less spending compared to items that have high rates and are very much prone to erosion po. Thank you.
All right, thank you for that answer. Now let's proceed to the grade 8 business manager, Mary Cabigas. Your question is question number 4. How would you handle conflict with another officer if they disagreed with your choice of purchase? Again, how would you handle conflict with another officer if they disagreed with your choice of purchase? Your 1 minute to think starts now.
May I answer now po?
All right, your 2 minutes to answer starts now.
If another officer disagrees with my choice of purchase, I would handle it calmly and respectfully. I'd listen to their reasons because maybe they have a better idea or a concern I didn't notice. Then I'd explain my side clearly and why I thought that my purchase was the best option. If we still don't agree, I'd be open to compromise or bring that matter to the rest of the officers so that the decision is fair and transparent. Because for me, teamwork and respect are more important than proving who's right. That's all. Thank you.
All right, thank you for that answer. Now for grade 9 business manager, Justin Pino, your question is question number 1. How will you coordinate with your batch treasurer to avoid confusion or duplication of work? Again, how would you coordinate with your batch treasurer to avoid confusion or duplication of work? Your 1 minute to think starts now.
Pwede na po, kuya.
All right, your 2 minutes to answer starts now.
I can coordinate with my batch treasurer to avoid confusion or duplication of work by just communicating with remote. Before I do any work at all, I will first ask them if they have already done the work. I would also ask for confirmation whether I should or should not do the specified task that I should have done. Thank you. That is all.
All right, thank you for the answer. Now for the grade 10 business manager, Gian Kalina. Your question is question number 2. If multiple officers give you requests at once, how will you prioritize purchases? Again, if multiple officers give you requests at once, how will you prioritize purchases? Your 1 minute to think starts now.
I would like to answer the question na po.
All right, your 2 minutes to answer starts now.
So, if multiple officers gave me multiple requests at once, I would prioritize purchases by firstly, I would address this issue rather by firstly organizing these requests by the level of importance and urgency, as well as understanding the purpose behind these requests. From there, I would work with the officers to prioritize which requests are most essential or time sensitive to make sure that the batch's needs as a whole are addressed and put first. So I also believe that teamwork and cooperation are key in situations like this. So instead of deciding alone, I would open the discussion with the officers and compare the requests and find the best way to allocate our resources fairly and wisely by reaching a consensus in making financial decisions along with them. Um, by keeping communication open and involving everyone in the process, I can make sure that no one feels left out and that our are spent in a way that benefits the entire batch. Thank you.
Thank you for answering. Now let's move on to grade 11 business manager, Christian Villasino. Your question is question number 6. How would you encourage your fellow officers to treat you as a partner in planning rather than just an errand runner? Again, how would you encourage your fellow officers to treat you as a partner in planning rather than just an errand runner? Your 1 minute to think starts now.
I will answer na po.
All right, your 2 minutes to answer starts now.
Okay, so I'll make sure that my fellow officers will see me as a partner by, and not just an errand runner, by being proactive in planning and sharing ideas and show that I can contribute beyond just handling purchases. I'll communicate openly and collaborate with them so that they know that I'm also part of the decision making and not just the execution. And that's all. Thank you.
All right, thank you for that. Next up, we have grade 12 bench manager Diana Escalajos. The question is question number 3. What strategies will you use to make sure everyone in the batch student government knows what you've already bought? Again, what strategies do you use to make sure everyone in the batch student government knows what you've already bought? Your 1 minute starts.
I'll answer now.
All right, your 2 minutes starts now.
So, what strategies will I use to make sure that everyone in the batch student government knows that I've already bought? So simply, us in the batch student government will have a GC. So the most straightforward answer that I can give is simply by documenting everything, as in taking photos of the product in itself, the price, and the receipts. Additionally, if I want to, I can have a shared tracker and, of course, send quick updates after every purchase. So, to make sure that everyone knows, I will essentially be a clingy girlfriend in our GCs. And so that to make sure that everyone stays informed and aligned. And if they do not know, I will know because, wait, if they don't know, I'll know that they didn't read the GC because I know myself that I chatted. Thank you.
All right, thank you for that, Diane. With our third topic done, let's now proceed to our fourth topic, problem solving in purchases. So, grade 7 business manager Nelly Llanos, your question is question number 5. Imagine an emergency where the batch suddenly needs materials the same day. How would you manage that? Again, imagine an emergency where the batch suddenly needs materials the same day. How would you manage that? Your 1 minute to think starts now.
Hello po, I'm having internet issues. May I answer now po?
All right, if your 2 minutes to answer starts now.
First and foremost, purchases for the batch should be directly for the batch. We shouldn't include unnecessary things like for ourselves or for a section or a group of friends specifically, because once again I am serving for the batch of year 2031. The way that my purchases can directly benefit the majority of my batchmates is, for example, when there's an event, I could give them or someone requests snacks, I could give snacks for the entire batch that are participating in said event. I don't want anyone to be singled out during any other activity, and I want everyone to have a fair chance at getting the things that I purchase from different varieties po. Thank you.
All right, thank you for that answer. Now let's proceed to the grade 8 business manager, Mary Cabigas. Your question is question number 1. If an item you bought turns out defective or wrong, what's your plan to solve the issue? Again, if an item you bought turns out defective or wrong, what's your plan to solve the issue? Your 1 minute to think starts now.
May I answer na po?
All right, your 2 minutes to answer starts.
So, if an item I bought turns out defective or maybe the wrong one, the first step I do is to keep the receipt or proof of purchase ready. Then I'd go back to where I bought it right away to request a replacement or a refund. If returning it isn't possible, I'd look for another solution like repair or replacement from a different store. What's important is to make sure the batch's money is not wasted and that we still get the item we actually need. That's all. Thank you.
All right, thank you for that answer. Now let's proceed to the grade 9 business manager, Justin Liguno. Your question is question number 3. If you're given very limited funds but need to buy something essential, how would you handle it? Again, if you're given very limited funds but need to buy something essential, how would you handle it? Your 1 minute to think starts now.
Pwede na po kaya. If I were given
Your 2 minutes starts now.
If I were given limited funds but still need to buy something essential, I could handle it in 2 ways. Number one, I could still push through with the limited funds since that is the given budget that I was given. That's the only thing that I should be doing because that is the only thing that we can afford, and yeah. But if it truly was important and I decided that we needed more, of course I would ask for confirmation if this truly was the correct funds. I would ask for more funds if this was the case, and true and true, either one, I push with it, or two, I ask for more funds. Thank you. That is all.
All right, thank you for answering. Now let's move on to the grade 10 business manager, GM Salim. Your question is question number 2. How will you manage situations where supplies run out in stores or aren't available? Again, how will you manage situations where supplies run out in stores or aren't available? Your 1 minute to think starts now.
I would like to answer the question na po.
Alright, your 2 minutes to answer starts now.
So if supplies run out in stores or aren't available, I would first handle the situation by informing the officers involved so that they know about the situation at hand. Um, I would then look for practical alternatives, whether it means checking other suppliers, finding substitute items that may serve the same purpose, or even borrowing resources that we already have through our batch research log system that I would implement if voted. I believe that problems like this are best solved with teamwork and coordination. So I would collaborate with my fellow officers to agree on the most efficient solution without compromising our batch funds. By staying resourceful and communicative about this issue, I can make sure that our events and projects will still push through smoothly even when unexpected issues like such will come up. Thank you.
Alright, thank you for that answer. Now for grade 11 business manager Christian Villasino, your question is question number 5. Imagine an emergency where the batch suddenly needs materials the same day. How would you manage that? Again, imagine an emergency where the batch suddenly needs materials the same day. How would you manage that? Your 1 minute to think starts now. Alright, your time is
Okay,
up.
I
Your
will
2 minutes to answer
answer na
starts now.
po. If materials are needed the same day, I'll quickly check the nearest and most reliable sources, and I will coordinate with other officers, such as those class business managers, and divide the task and make sure that we get what's essential first. Then I'll note the situation so we can prepare better in the future. That's all. Thank you.
Alright, thank you for the answer. Now let's proceed to the grade 12 business manager Diana Salas. Your question is question number 6. What will you do if you find that the store you usually rely on suddenly raises prices? Again, what will you do if you find that the store you usually rely on suddenly raises prices? Your 1 minute to think starts now.
I'll answer na now po.
Alright, your 2 minutes starts now.
So what will I do if I find that the store that I usually rely on suddenly raises prices? So in this case, I will try to summon my inner Filipino mother and bargain because we frequent in that store, so they can't just do us like that. But if this works, then that's great. But if not, I will canvas again to look for possibly more affordable stores, all while being transparent with fellow officers and taking into account their own opinions. Thank you.
Alright, thank you for that answer. With that, we'll now proceed to our final topic, your transparency and legacy. So, for grade 7 business manager, Lanas, your question is question number 5. What are your plans to make sure your reports are not only accurate but also easy for everyone to understand? Again, what are your plans to make sure your reports are not only accurate but also easy for everyone to understand? Your 1 minute to think starts now.
May I answer now po?
Alright, your 2 minutes to answer starts now.
I will ensure my reports are easy to understand by creating financial reports and accessible files for the batch to look into whenever they ask. Sheets can also help me organize my work and financial reports better so that I can also gain experience and help myself be more accountable when it comes to holding funds. Thank you.
Alright, thank you for that answer. Let's now move on to grade 8 business manager, Mary Cabitas. Your question number 1. How will you ensure transparency in purchases when your batchmates ask, what was the money used for? Again, how will you ensure transparency in purchases when your batchmates ask, what was the money used for? Your 1 minute to think starts now.
May I answer na po?
Your 2 minutes to answer starts now.
Uh, I will ensure transparency by always being open about where the money goes. If batchmates ask, I'll explain clearly what the purchase is for and how it will benefit everyone. I'll also keep receipts and maintain a record of all expenses so that if anyone wants to see proof, it's available. By updating them regularly, and showing that every peso is accounted for, I can build their trust and make sure that they feel confident that the money is used properly. That's all. Thank you.
All right, thank you for your answer. Let's now move on to the grade 9 business manager, Justin Laguno. Your question is question number 2. How will you report back purchases to your treasurer or batchmates? Again, how will you report back purchases to your treasurer or batchmates? Your 1 minute to think starts now.
Okay po, yeah, ready na po.
Your 2 minutes to answer starts now.
I can report back my purchases to my treasurer and batchmates by picturing the receipts and showing the item that I've acquired and sending it through the chat. By staying updated, by making everyone stay updated, I can easily communicate my reports back to my treasurer and batchmates simply in a simple manner that can be solved easily. Thank you.
All right, thank you for that answer. Now let's move on to the grade 10 business manager, Gian Kun. Your question is question number 4. By the end of your term, what do you want your batchmates to remember about your service as business manager? Again, by the end of your term, what do you want your batchmates to remember about your service as business manager? Your 1 minute to think starts now.
I would like to answer the question na po.
Your 2 minutes to answer starts now.
By the end of my term, I would want my batchmates to remember me as the ideal batch business manager who maintained consistency, transparency, and was dependable in handling our batch's funds and coordinating with our batch officers, especially the batch treasurer. I want them to see that I work hard to make every event organized and worthwhile, and that the systems that I introduce, especially in my platforms like the financial repository and the batch resource logs, help make things clearer and more sustainable for the batch. Most of all, I hope that they remember that I carried out my role with integrity and dedication, and that I was always aiming to serve with purpose and to leave a positive impact that lasts beyond my term. Thank you.
All right, thank you for that answer. Now let's move on to grade 11 business manager, Christian Villasita. Your question is question number 6. How will you make sure that your work as business manager adds to the reputation of your batch rather than being overlooked? Again, how will you make sure that your work as business manager adds to the reputation of your batch rather than being overlooked? Your 1 minute starts now.
Okay, answer na po.
Alright, your 2 minutes to answer starts now.
I'll make sure my work as business manager reflects well on our batch by being transparent, efficient, and reliable. When people see that our events are smooth and our finances are well handled, my reputation naturally adds to the batch's reputation, not just mine alone. That's all. Thank you.
Alright, thank you for your answer. Now let's proceed to grade 12 business manager Diane Rosales. Your question is question number 3. What kind of reputation do you want your batch to have because of your work as business manager? Again, what kind of reputation do you want your batch to have because of your work as business manager? Your 1 minute to think starts now. Alright, your 1 minute is up. Your 2 minutes to answer starts now.
Thank you for the question. By the end of oh no, as I have stressed in my 3 minute speech earlier, I want my batch to not only be successful, but also full of meaning and depth. So, as in a batch of students who are exemplars of excellence, but are also able to have fun and be carefree. So, with my work as a batch governor, I will do my best to support our batch and highlight the ones that truly shine and carry our batch reputation as we move as we flip through our last pages of our chapter of high school. Thank you.
Alright, thank you for that answer. Since the Q&A portion is now done, we will now open the floor for questions from the audience. If you would like to ask something to our batch business manager candidates, please leave a comment on the Facebook or YouTube Live or send us a message on our Facebook page. A reminder, please keep your questions respectful, concise, and directed to each candidate, unless your question is approved. Each candidate will be given time to respond. There will be 10 minutes given for the open forum, and the program will end by 9:40. All right, since there doesn't seem to be any questions, that concludes our section for the batch business manager candidates. Thank you for sharing how you plan to support your batch and the student government through your hard work and dedication. With that, we officially close the Q&A portion of today's meeting, the Advancing. We hope this has helped you, our student body, get to know your candidates better before casting your votes. And with that, we officially close this year's meeting, the Avance for this 2025 BAYLO special elections. Thank you once again to our candidates for bravely presenting their visions, and to all of you for listening and reflecting on who among our candidates best represents your batch. Elections will be on September 1, 2025, this Monday, so please make sure to vote wisely. Every vote matters in shaping the leadership of our student government. This has been Aaron, your COMELEC chairman, and your host for today. Thank you and have a great rest of your day.